Welcome to the demo on subtle art of executing test automation using Docker Compose. In this demo, we are going to look at the following things. Building Docker images for the microservice and the REST API test automation suite. Pushing the images that are built in step 1 to hub.docker.com. Understanding the configuration of the Docker Compose YML. Mounting specific Mac OS, that is the host machine's directory, into Docker container, running the Docker Compose, and then finally viewing the results of execution that are generated as a result of the above steps by the execution of the REST API test automation suite. Let's get started with the demo. The first step that we'll see is running the Docker images command and then filtering it with my repository. As you can see, there is only one image that is created as of now. Let's delete that image. Now, if we filter the Docker images with the name of my repository, there are no images created here. Now, the next step is to build the Docker images. Let's first build the API Playground Docker image, which is the microservice in our case. As you can see, the API Playground Docker image is currently getting built. In the meantime, let's get started with the second step as well, which is basically building the best by API test Docker image, which in our case is the REST API test automation suite. As you can see, the Docker image Shreyas C27 API Playground with tag 1.0.0 has been built successfully. As you can see here as well, another Docker image Shreyas C27 slash best by API test colon 1.0.0 Docker image, which is basically the REST API automation test suite, is also built successfully. Now let's go back to the terminal and check if the Docker images in the repository Shreyas C27 are created successfully or not. You can see that there are two uh, images. Uh, One is best by API test and another one is API Playground. As we had stated, the tag of both the images is 1.0.0, and as we can see here, they are created 31 and 55 seconds back. Next step is basically to push this newly created Docker images into hub.docker.com. As you can see, this is the command which is basically used to push the Docker images into hub.docker.com. Before that, we have to just make sure that we have an account created in hub.docker.com, and docker login is the command in order to check whether we are successfully connected to the Docker Hub or not. As you can see, after entering the command docker login, authenticating with existing credentials, and the login succeeded. This gives us a confirmation that the Docker is able to talk to hub.docker.com. Okay. For the sake of the time, we're gonna omit execution of these two commands and we'll directly go to the hub.docker.com to see that there are two images that are already pushed. First one is Shreyasi 27 slash Best Buy API test, and the second one is Shreyasi 27 slash API playground. If we go inside either of these Docker images, we can see that the repository tag for this one is 1.0.0, as well as the tag for API playground as well is 1.0.0. Uh, this is basically my account Shreyasi27 on docker.hub.com, wherein I have pushed these images. Now the next step is to have a look at the configuration of Docker Compose config. I have kept the Docker Compose YML also in the same folder. Uh, let's have a look at the contents of the Docker Compose YML. As you can see, the version of the Compose YML is 3.3. Here it mainly consists of two sections. One is services and another one is volumes. The service section mainly consists of the two services, that is the Docker containers that are going to get created in this process. One is API Playground and another one is the Best Buy API test. API Playground makes the use of the Docker image API Playground colon 1.0.0, and it exposes the port 9030 to the external world. Best Buy API test, it basically depends on the success of the API Playground. That is, if the API Playground container is up and running successfully, then it makes the use of Best Buy API test colon 1.0.0 to come up. One additional thing to note here is the volumes. What volumes effectively mean is during the post the execution of the test cases, the reports would be generated into slash app slash report folder. What this effectively means is this particular directory slash app slash report maps to the automation results unique identifier volume on the local host. Okay, so automation results here and automation results in the volumes match. Now what does automation result in the volume section exactly mean? This particular automation results maps to this particular folder users in Shreyas ch slash execution reports. Let's see what are the contents of this particular folder. As you can see, this particular folder users in Shreyas C slash execution reports, which is present on my local host, is empty as of now. Okay, so what would happen exactly is once this Docker Compose is executed, the automated test cases would get executed, and post the execution of the automated test cases, a HTML report would be created which would be stored in execution reports folder structure. Now let's get back to our terminal and execute the Docker Compose YML. As you can see on the command line, the test cases are getting successfully executed. Also here you can see, since that execution of the test cases is completed, a report is generated into report slash folder. The results of the execution are like there were two test suits that were executed. In all 30 test cases were executed as a result of this, and all 30 of them are pass. Now let's go back to our folder. As we had seen minutes back, there was no HTML report that was created in this folder. Now let's see the contents of this folder again. As you can see, Best Buy API test report.html was created just minutes back. Okay, let's go to the specific folder Here, let's try to open the HTML report. As you can see, the results of execution of the test automation are generated here. Now let's go back to our container. As you can see, there is only one container running right now, reason which is the our microservice. The second container, that is based by API test. Since the execution of the test automation suite is completed, that Docker container has been successfully shut down. That's it for this demo. If you have any further questions, feel free to write to me at shreyasc_tweets. Thank you.